Welcome back to another painting session. As you can see, this is something a bit different, though it's something similar of what I have done previously. As, like I said, you have seen, if you can see the screen at the moment, I have 3 panels right now, a medium and then 2 small. Now I have done something similar, but with a different orientation for, I believe, 2 other paintings. This is a new orientation, but the same amount of painting sizes, 2 small, 1 medium. I will be doing something I haven't done for a while. I'll be making a big old tree. The last one I've done that with was, I believe I called it the Magenta Lake. It was, I think I made it in July. So pretty, not old, but not new either. It was a part of the 6 different color themed landscape paintings, and that one was supposed to be purple. And I made a tree to the left side. It came out pretty well, but I also made a painting very much before that, that I took inspiration from the Yggdrasil from Norse mythology. I will do the same here. You could think of this as a combination of both what I've been doing previously with the panel paintings and also a redo, fusing these 2 together to make the best of what I can revise upon. Now, if you hear crickets in the background, that's because at the moment there's a bit of a cricket upsurge for some particular reason. I don't know why, people don't know why, there's just a lot of crickets at the moment. Not like apocalyptic amounts, but it's probably because of the rain that we've been having recently just made them all resurface, because they were so used to not having their homes flooded, if their homes could be. I don't really know where crickets live. I'm not like a cricket scientist. I'm not etymologist, I believe that's called, the study of insects. Not that person, so I don't know much about them other than that I don't like them. So, but it's off to the side at the moment, so it shouldn't pose much of an issue. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yggdrasil here, or world tree. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be a wide tree. Usually, I guess some people depict it as a very tall tree, and it makes sense. But in this circumstance, I'm going to be doing a wide one, a big oak-style tree. Well, not oak, not willow. I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know much about the tree lineages and species. I don't think you'd call them a species, but it's fine. The first tree painting I did was, like I said, the Yggdrasil. Oh man, I gotta get this on. And I made it very long. I made it with just this size. These excluded, but just this size. Made a planet here. 3, 1, 2, just like how I have here, but this is a bit more wider. So imagine this crumpled together in just this, pretty small. Each planet was the size of a lid, but the planet here was like this size, so pretty small still. I also wasn't using stencils, I was using lids. So I am going to have to tilt this because this is offset, this is tilted up, but I'll correct it. You won't see me correct it, it'll just be after. You'll just know I have this all down, have the weights, whatever you see when I get to it. So yeah, back to what I was talking about. The first iteration of this, I think, went very well, especially considering it was my first, my first tree painting. I actually sold it to someone for a good fee, and it was all right. But I'm hoping I can do much better with that here. I'm hoping I do not mess it up, as making trees like this, space trees, they're a bit iffy. You can make a lot of mistakes, and then you could rectify them by just going over it. What you do is, well, you'll see, but I'll just demonstrate it. You would take this, or a palette knife, this is what this is, or I have a little chopstick here. I have utilized and repurposed as a makeshift palette knife, just to have that tip about the same size. So if I need more detailed, I will just hold it here and scratch. To make the branches, you would scratch the paint, and it would show the lower reaches. And if you have a dried up bottom, then it will show. Let's say I have a blue coat. If I scratch away a black top coat, it will most likely show a blue coat. Even if I have had ample gloss, it might still have white, but it might also blend in with the blue, making it a bit lighter blue. So a lot of people have been doing that. If they do trees, they will have a bottom coat to have a color of those branches, so they don't have to actually have a brush. As same with me, I don't really have those skills, so it's easier just to scratch it. So because some people don't really have like the expensive brushes that allow you to do that, but palette knives, you can do that. Even with chopstick, you can do that. It just takes the technique, and that's it. You can make a lot of mistakes making trees, and you could rectify them very easily just by going over it, making a tree a little bit bigger. The big issue is making the leaves. You would usually take a sponge, and then you'd put it in some paint, dab around. But it depends on how much paint. If you have too much, it will just look like a splotch. Too little, nothing will happen. It won't even put down. It might even peel the paint, which is worse. Another thing of concern is how much gloss you'd have to use just to reapply and moisten up the paint again to scratch. So you'll see all that, because I'll be doing all that, even the mistakes part. I'll be surprised if I don't make a mistake, because that's not like me. So yeah, that's pretty much it on synopsis. I'll just start the time lapse, get that over with, and I hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to show me if you enjoy it, or you don't. You know very well how to. Commenting, I would appreciate any comments, either being positive criticisms or just your opinion in general. I don't really care, to be honest, just don't be vulgar. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to start the time lapse now. Enjoy. Now for this bit, I'm going to talk, and I might do a time lapse after that of me just doing the tree. But I want to say that if I do mess this up, I do apologize. So I really do think that most of these just came off seamless. This not so much, but that's fine. I'll cover that with branches and leaves. But everything else came off almost perfectly, and I'm very proud of it. And if I do mess it up with all the branches and leaves, my bad. That's my warning, I suppose. It's also downpouring at the moment outside, so you might think of it like peaceful ambiance. I don't know. I'm not really a sound guy, so this is the best we're gonna have is like ambient background noise from me at the moment. So nothing else I gotta do before I almost ruin this painting. This is gonna be like a make or break moment. To be honest with y'all, I'm gonna use clear coats to weten the paint, and then I'm gonna scratch. I'm gonna make the branches, make the log. I'm gonna start with a rough thing. Take this down. It's dry enough that you could touch it, but I am going to weten it so I can scratch it, because at the moment it doesn't do much. I'm scratching it right now. You can see it, but it doesn't do much. So I'll go down like this far, not a lot, just a little of the roots, and then I'll start with the branches, then go up a little bit, and then it'll cradle here. That's what I tend to do. I do a little by little, but nothing crazy. Fine. Here we go. First one down. Second one down. Doing all right. And make rough outlines. Of what I plan on. And you see the bottom that it is blue, what I made the color as. That's good. I am going to make this a bit wider here so it can compensate. The other reason why I have my voice here and it's not time lapsed is that you could hear, if I do mess up, you could hear the soul leave my body as I speak. And if it does have an issue, that is very much what will happen. So this is how it's gonna be for the moment. Yeah, I'm really liking the rain right now. We haven't gotten a lot of rain, but now we're getting a lot of rain at the moment. And it's very surprising. We don't really get a lot of rain here, except for spring, of course. But here, now, it's a bit different now. If it gets too hard, it'll clump up. So that's a good signifier. The rain is getting a bit worse. It won't flood in because the driveway is sloped, like every driveway should be. So I'm fine. I'll make rough roots here. So it won't be crazy or nothing. I'll do many scratches, so it looks like I'll do a little bit here. So like, you see this? It looks like it's a continuous log. It has the same detail, and just single strands will be roots or branches. That's the technique here. I have this central one to kind of have as a ground. Okay. I have a bit looser here when it's coming to the main planet, because all these planets are based on the worlds the Norse believed in, this being Earth, or Midgard they called it. So that's why it looks Earth-like, as you know, I planned it to be in the center, and that's where we're from. And it's the only world of the three to actually exist, thankfully. I wouldn't want any elves to be in our world. That'd be strange. So you see how it looks a bit here. It looks much more like a log sprouting up through these roots, going up. See, there's also here, that's an issue. The gloss is affecting this. I did too much gloss, but it's fine. It's bringing it up. This is the color that I put down originally. It's also affecting the planet, but it's fine. I will just. The thing with this is you can fix your mistakes very easily. So that is what I plan on doing. Can I actually scratch here? Not a lot, no. Okay, a bit more. Okay, now I have this. I'll just make rough details now. I forgot this bit. Here. This technique also uses a lot of your gloss, so make sure you always have an extra bottle or can, so you can fight against that, or just be prepared in general. Okay, I'm also going to have to make this a bit wider, of course, just to compensate. The world tree is sometimes depicted very strangely, so if this feels a bit unsymmetrical or uneven, unproportional, that's the reason. I have an excuse to as why that might be the case. So, I'm gonna follow this now. This won't be a whole full tree, it'll sprout out. So watch, I'm gonna do this half. See, I'm going to 1 minute. There we go. See, this is a big branch now, so it diverts from the unevenness this might first portray as. So it semi-fixes the problem, but only a little bit. I have so much more work to do. So it's good to have a gas mask as well, but I am talking, so I can't really have that, so I am risking myself for y'all. It's not that big of a risk, it's just not good to inhale this much paint, but it's fine. I'm not really inhaling that much, to be fair. thing I'm gonna do is separate these two. These are just gonna converge. Maybe I should have had a road in the middle. But I could still add that, I think. See? Just a branch. Okay. And I'm going to divert this into here, which place I'm going to develop my bad, this area. Now I just made a little mistake there, so just intertwine that. There we go. And then it connects back here. So this, imagine this doesn't exist, and you have two branches. Brilliant. Like a skeleton right here. So I'm going to add, actually wasn't planning for this, but I'm glad how it turned out. Should have added a plant here. I technically could with a hollow stencil, but I would have to wait for everything to dry, and I don't want to do that. And then I'd have to redo everything. So, yeah, don't want to do that. It's it might be fine as it is. I could just cover it with a few small branches. It still have an opening, but that's fine. Doesn't really matter. Okay, yeah, looks good. Looks good. I'm gonna expand. Add the roots here. Sometimes you still have to scratch on your glove to get the paint off. That's a bit fun. It's fun. All well and good. Sometimes you would even have to sharpen it again, which is also fine. The more detailed I get, I'll just use this, as you can see here. And what should I do here? Okay. Oh, that doesn't have gloss on it. To get gloss. Okay. The thing with this is you can't use too much, or it'll warp not just the painting, but the color beneath it. Like you see over here. Even if I could plant it there, the lighter the strokes, the thinner you can have them. I have these little roots here, just small ones, it's fine. Even if there's an issue, I can just go back on it. And it's all well and good. It's going to finish up here. I usually have roots in pairs of twos at the end. Sometimes I leave one hanging out, but sometimes I give another a friend. Sometimes that's a good thing, but others you just don't want them to be crowded. Okay, like I'm doing over here. Sometimes you'll have to restroke so it looks like it's the same way again, as it makes these little borders along. As you can see, little ridges. So it does add depth to it. So this little thing. There you go. Little issue over there. Little pebble. Not really like those little pebbles. They get in my way too much. I just have to escort them out. You just have to be careful with them. have to beef up this branch, or this root, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully you can hear me. I hope you can. Because I am speaking a bit softly. My bad if I am. A bit more gloss there. And I do apologize for any car sounds you may hear in the background. That might disrupt my voice, or any, if you're using this as background, then it will of course disrupt it. So I can't really control that. But if it does happen, I do apologize. Okay, I'm just going to connect these and make them a bit bigger. And by doing that, I just scratch more, stroke more. Make the roots a bit bigger, a bit tougher. Have a bit more thickness. It's going pretty well. Better than I first supposed. You can almost hear the scraping sounds. This will take some time. Now, yeah, I will now have this as a time lapse and allow you to enjoy the fast-paced scrapings of me making the world tree. I hope you enjoyed that bit. Alright, and here's the finished product. I think I should stay very clear from making trees now, as yeah, the few trees I have made after the first one, maybe even the first one was bad, I'm just looking at it as in a different lens, but maybe I shouldn't just use that technique, because I don't like it. Maybe you do, I don't know why you would, but any rational person would say this is, I ruined it. They would be right, and I would agree with them. Yeah, I probably should have just kept it as it was. Maybe did something a bit different. Just fill the space other than add this messes. Tried my best, but did not work out, as you can see. Even just adding like a fourth planet in the middle, I don't think would save it. No, I don't think it would save it at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Any criticisms, of course, are very welcome. I would like to know what else you found wrong that I haven't found myself. There's a lot. In terms of the tree, everything else is fine, but the tree itself, no. I'm gonna get off now so I could show you detail. I can't really show the issues, as the issue is the entire tree and the leaves, but I will this scan across. It'll be a pretty short outro. This took me way too long to make for how it turned out. So did not pay off whatsoever. Pretty ticked off by it, but it's fine, I guess. I learned now I ain't gonna do this nonsense anymore. I'm not gonna be making these stupid space trees. And yeah, that's it. That's the painting. Man, that's a disappointment. The next one should not be a disappointment. It's gonna be using the gold painting, the gold paint. You can see here, I used it. Well, you can't really see it, but it shimmers a bit. Yeah, there you can see it shimmers. So, I might use that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And hopefully the next painting will be much better, and hopefully you tune in for that one, and I won't disappoint you that time, and I won't disappoint myself. Yeah, other than that, hopefully I see you there. Bye bye.